Okay, so what if you were a spaceship captain? And let's say that you personally had the ability to build your spaceship out of absolutely amazing parts. With your brand new super ship built, you fly off into the most dangerous regions of space on the whim of a high-ranking seagull. Okay, we'll come back to the seagull. Before long, you're faced with deadly pirates who want nothing more than to blast you to bits. But you built a super amazing spaceship, so you vaporize all who stand before you. You then make your way back to Ryza for some serious partying. Meanwhile, your treacherous mutinous crew hijacks your precious super amazing spaceship. Unbelievable. At this point, you could really be upset about this whole thing. But then, you never really trusted those guys anyway, so you secretly left a major defect in your design, knowing that someday you may have to fight your own super amazing spaceship. You put that information in your back pocket and begin construction of a newer and even better super awesome spaceship so you can get back out there and do it all over again. But don't forget to add your defect. Currently under development by Three Phase Interactive, Defect is a top-down space shooter that allows you to build ships using an editor similar to what you might find in something like Gratuitous Space Battles 2, but with one very important and game-changing difference. The parts are not just cosmetic. Every part you attach to your ship using the editor actually matters. It's not just for looks anymore, folks. I have gratefully had the opportunity to preview the game in its current state, and it is clear there is a love for 2D top-down space shooters here. They have been developing the game over the last 2 years and have just launched a Kickstarter campaign with the hopes of getting enough funding to polish it all up all pretty and add some more ship parts and game modes. So yes, the game is incomplete, but even so, I have to say I have really enjoyed playing around in the campaign as it stands right now. The developer hopes to add some challenge modes where you can build and fly ships against the AI, and eventually even players in the community. That's really exciting. And in the future here, I would love to see some kind of tournament mode so that we can all kind of battle it out like we do with other things on the channel. Hint hint to the developer, because that would be amazing. But I'm talking too much. Let's actually play a bit of the game. As it stands right now, the options that are available is a brand new game, and this is kind of the campaign. It includes a tutorial and a whole schwack of missions that has multiple different paths you can take and stuff too. And of course, your ships carry on, sort of. We'll talk a little bit more about that. I think you got the idea, the premise from the intro of the video, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And of course, it has some options, just sound and music. I turned them down a little bit. I hope it's a good level. I want to keep music up a little bit, which is kind of, you know, something that you don't do when you're on YouTube, but there's a reason for it, because music actually, you build the soundtrack of your game as you're building the ship. Different parts you attach to your ship changes the soundtrack of the game, which is, I'm sorry, I was totally amused and baffled by that. I thought it was super cool. I think I've seen that before somewhere, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to start a brand new game. Confirmed, yeah, we're going to delete my old game. Okay, this is a campaign map, and this is where we are. This is the map itself. Each one of these blocks is a mission, and he looks like he's angry, happy, upset, sad, and neutral. All of those expressions at the same time. That is the most amazing expression ever. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, so our goal is, of course, to work through these first few missions, which is the tutorial of the game. And then, of course, you can eventually get to a point where you can make some choices, some bigger choices. I have not made it down here, guys. I have no idea what to expect out there. We're just going to work through the first couple tutorials of the game just so that you guys can get an idea. Now, the first couple missions, you don't get to see much, but it gives you a little bit of the controls and stuff. So you kind of got to bear with it. Look at this Planet Asbestos. Look at the graphics. It actually, the backdrops look amazing. It's very clean looking. I love the look of the game. I don't know. And remember I was talking about a seagull? Well, here you go. The Seagull, not Seagull. Seagull is our personal built-in digital assistant, but we call him Zeke. Zeke's a pretty good guy, but he is a seagull. I don't know why there's a seagull out here, but anyway, so he is saying that we can use the mouse wheel to scroll in and out. Now, you'll notice when we zoom out far enough, we turn into an icon, which makes it really handy when you're dealing with large fleet battles as well as covering great distances, and to kind of get a good idea of what's on the field because, of course, the enemies will be different icons too as well. You can even fight in that mode, so it's pretty cool. Of course, WASD key to move. Now we don't have a... I'm assuming we can have engines facing the opposite direction so we can actually use the D key and go backwards. I don't know. Maybe even have engines facing off to the side so that we can strafe. That would be cool. If it doesn't exist, it probably will. But for now, with this ship, all we can do is drive forward, turn left and right. And we have a little laser in the front. Laser. We have a freaking laser. Okay, so there we go. And flying over to the waypoint. So we're going to zoom right out. And there's our waypoint. Look at the asteroid. Isn't it pretty? I don't know. I really like the graphic style. I think it's quite nice. It's quite nice. There we go. Great job. We'll test out our weapons. Now, ships have crew, and your crew, of course, manages parts of your ship so that you don't have to all the time, including they will man your guns. Now, you can manually control your guns, and later on, you'll probably be manually controlling your guns for a variety of different purposes. But at the beginning, with this ship, for example, you don't have to do that. As long as you're aimed towards a target, your crew will fire. So all I'm doing right now is flying using the WASD keys, and the crew is automatically firing the main gun. Yes. So, and like I said, later on, there is ways, and it's necessary to use... we were caught in the blast! That's okay. That's okay. Zeke knew it was going to happen. I don't know. I don't trust him. I don't trust anybody in my crew in this game, and you'll see why later on. Well, that was unexpected. Sure it was, Zeke. Sorry about that. Let's get on with the new ship. Look at the graphics style. Isn't that cool? I don't know. The art designers seem to be, I don't know. That looks really good. Okay, so let's go on to the next ship. Perfect. So now we're going to rebuild the same ship. The tutorial's kind of guiding us through this process. Eventually we get to build whatever we want, and you'll get to see that in this episode. But for this one, it's just kind of carrying us and telling us, put it here and put it there and put it here. So that's what we're going to do. So all ships start with a core. The core determines how big your ship can be because it determines how much power your ship can have. In this case, this core can have 30 power. So we're just going to place that, keep things moving around along at a decent pace because we have a lot to go through here. And of course, the next piece here, so this is the crew modules. This is like a cockpit. The cockpit can hold capacity of crew. So you notice it has capacity of 7. That's how many crew we can have in the ship. It requires crew. Crew is required for different things like weapons and different parts of the ship, like engines and stuff like that, to be able to run the ship. So we're going to place that, and you'll notice it's too small, so we can use the mouse wheel to make it bigger. Yes, I know it's carrying us through this part. Eventually we can kind of do our own thing. Hull, armors, and spacers. Not only are these for beautification or aesthetics, it also affects the ship. So you'll notice there it also says armor 20 and mass 3, and it costs 1 crew and 1 power to run this. But I can actually place it over top of the core, and that will protect the core. So even aesthetic pieces have a purpose. And of course there's our engine, and of course it has thrust, steering, stability, reactivity, mass, crew, and power. And thrust is what's most important, but we do have to watch how much power and crew these things use. And of course we can place that wherever we want, but in this particular mission we can only place it in one spot. There we go. And of course our guns. There we go. All we have is the Bach beam, and damage, range, recharge, tracking, mass, armor, crew, power, like so. And like Gratuitous Space Battles 2, and the reason I keep bringing that up is because this editor, which you'll see in the next mission, is so similar, especially when it comes to layers. And you can actually see your layers on the left side here. So on the top layer we have our laser, and then the next layer down we have our engine, next layer down we have our armor, next layer down we have our crew quarters, next layer down we have our core. So our core is underneath everything. Now if we want to make the ship look a little better, we can actually move our engine down one using these little arrow buttons. Move it down one. Now the engine's actually on the inside of the ship. It's in between the armor piece and our crew quarters. Isn't that cool, eh? And then if we can do the same thing with our laser too as well. There we go. We're bringing it. So see, when we bring it up, it brings it up a layer. When we bring it down, brings it down a layer. And we want that underneath the crew. Isn't that cool? So there's our ship rebuilt. Next time it'll be more fun. And of course it gives us some statistics down here, but we'll go over that more in a little more detail after this next mission. We just got to get through this tutorial thing. It's pretty cool. I don't know. It feels really good. I've really enjoyed my experiences with it so far. Another beautiful backdrop. And look, it's kind of it's a freighter, right? The Ambiguous Wind, which is the name of this particular freighter. I just happen to know that. And we're coming in with our QR-79 Dawn Bomb. I don't know. It's an R8 name. Okay, so that's the SO-84 ambiguous wind. It's departing asbestos after delivering supplies. We're doing a custom inspection. So these missions are scripted. These particular ones, eventually they're going to be, you know, maybe they'll give us some open-ended stuff. Maybe they'll do some sandbox. Be cool to eventually, you know, do some... either do kind of like a spaz, Space Pirates and Zombies. So here it's demonstrating that you can destroy individual parts on a ship, and that affects the actual ship's performance. So we're going to destroy the engines, which of course will slow down the ship. It makes sense because the engines are an independent module to the ship. It's kind of cool. So yeah, one engine destroyed and it slowed down the ship by half, which makes total sense. So, and we're using our little laser, which is being manned by our crew. All I'm doing is flying the ship. We don't actually want to destroy the ship, we just want to take out the engines because it's got some kind of contraband on it. I didn't read it entirely. I've got a really big unscheduled warp spike coming in the top right of us, so something's coming in. Uh-oh. Wow. Ooh. The music's really cool. Oh, we'll talk about the music in a minute, but yeah, the music's really cool. So just hold off that small fighter, and they're sending in reinforcements to fight the big guy. So because we only have that small little laser, I just kind of gotta circle this guy and do the best I can to shoot him up. Fortunately, these little fighters that they're launching at us aren't very tough. Now, notice it's jettisoning the little pieces of schmutz there. I don't know if you saw it. Ooh, our first little capital ship. It's just a tiny capital ship though. He is fighting the big dude. Awesome. Sweet. There we go. One big dude destroyed. But uh-oh, more big dudes coming in, and we just got to take care of the little guy. Clear up the fighters. Uh-oh. Our capital ship got beat up. Scripted, but you know, fun nonetheless. Of course, like I said, this game isn't even finished. It's still in development. So you got, I mean, yes, these are all scripted missions, and we expect to see scripted missions. But you got to remember this is still in development. So it's actually on Kickstarter right now. I think they're up to $7,000. I don't know. Look, a real capital ship. Look at that. He's got like drones and missiles, and looks awesome. Looks really, really good. Oh, an even bigger capital ship. Oh my lord. Whoever wants this cargo wants it pretty bad. Yes. So all these little pieces of schmutz are chunks that are flying off ships as they get destroyed. Look at those drones or whatever they are. It looks like other games. I know I don't want to say it again, but it looks like Gratuitous Space Battles. It really does. But now we get to actually fly the ships that we build, and the parts actually matter. Oh, so cool. Okay, so we just take care of this guy. Yeah, this is still part of the tutorial. So just gotta push through. One more run and we'll have them. These guys don't have a lot of armor. We have way more armor than they have. There we go. Done deal. Finish off that freighter before anybody else can turn up to claim it. So now we want to take out the core, and we know the core is right in there somewhere. So we just kind of got to dig through the armor that is right here, and then we'll be hitting the core itself. There we go. You can actually see it's penetrated underneath, and we're actually hitting the core underneath the soft underbelly. There we go. Easy missions, but it's demonstrating some of the features. There we go. So this is our QR-79 Dawn Bomb. I'm not detecting any more ships incoming. I don't even think there are any more ships in the system. We did it! We have the most powerful ship in the universe. No more ships at all? That's our crew, by the way. Correct! No signals. We're the only functioning military ship left. Oh, ha! We can control the system. Adios, Captain. The ship is ours now. How do, like, they just put me in and they just, I don't know, they just shot me out of the ship. Like, they just ejected me. I walked the plank. So they just, yeah, stole our ship. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen again. Don't worry, guys. That is the name of the game. We'll send out a retrieval drone to pick you up. That's all we have to spare. They hit us pretty hard here at the shipyard, too. So that is the name of the game. After every mission, you lose the ship that you just built. And, of course, yes, you have to face it in the upcoming mission or missions. I don't know exactly how that's going to work in the long run. But yeah, so now we have to, okay, so now we're on to the next mission. We're going to go on to the next one. They have some new ship components for us, and we actually get to build our first ship. What would you think of, sorry, excuse me. You would think that crew drafted straight from prison would be a bit more grateful for the chance they've been given. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't get them from prison. I don't know. So let's try this again. We've salvaged a bunch of ship components from storage. Build yourself a ship with a gun turret, and Zeke will teach you about direct control. Maybe if you impressed your new crew with your leadership skills, they'll be a little more loyal than the last bunch of traitors. Probably not. Okay, so remember to start with the core. There is a number of new ones this time. Larger cores will provide more power, but they all will cost extra to install. So I don't see any other currency in the game right now other than power. So power is your primary form of currency. Everything, you need power for everything. So this is the core that we started with, power 30, and this is another core that we can choose. The blue standard core, it gives us power 70, and the yellow standard core will give us power 110, and maybe there will be a cost to these later on. I have no idea. But this is this has high enough output to power turrets and radar, and that's exactly what we need right now. And now we have the ability to build in any way we want. Ships can only have one core, so that's another thing to keep in mind. We can't just have a whole bunch of cores. Keep your design within the limits of the core or your ship will fly like a brick. If too many components are stacked on top of each other, that's really important, and we'll talk about that in a second. They will overheat, their performance will drop, and you'll be flying like a brick again. You have a selection of new components in every category to experiment with. Go ahead and build any kind of ship you like. So they've opened up some of the parts to us. I believe there's a total of 175 parts at least in the game already, but we have access to a few more this time. Just remember to add the tri-stage turret as one of your weapons. We're giving that a trial run. So this is where the game really shines, is the ship builder, the editor. It's amazing. So of course, all parts can be made small and made big by the mouse cursor, or the mouse wheel. Sorry, not mouse cursor. We can rotate, we can flip, we can move them up and down in the layers, just like other games with this type of editor. Now, since we started with a core with 110, well, we must start with some power already. So we have a total of 138 power. Now with 138 power, we have to build an entire ship, and every single part that we can attach to our ship uses either power or crew. So our next module that we're going to add is our crew module. So of course, we want to have lots of crew because we want to have lots of parts on our ship. So we want a nice fair-sized crew module, but not too big. And of course, all these parts have possibly armor and require a certain amount of power too as well. So we got to keep that in mind. And mass, which will slow down your ship and make it tougher to move around if you don't have enough engine power. So we're going to go with, I like the hammerhead look. That looks kind of cool. And of course, we can make this bigger. Yeah, nice big hammerhead. And we're going to put the core like right in there. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go to the armor and spaceship. So this is more of the aesthetic stuff, but it also, armor is relevant. So for example, this circle armor would be great. It has armor of 50. It's pretty heavy, and it does require crew and power to run. We can manage our crew and power, so I still have 22 crew and 88 power. And if I want to put something nice and heavy over top of this core. Actually, we'll move this down a little bit. Like this circle armor, and I'd rather have that facing this direction, and it doesn't need to be so big. I can't make it smaller. I can make it bigger. Ooh, let's move this back so it's kind of like I don't know. Whoops. I can also grab things here. That was the other thing in other editors like this. Once you buried something in a layer, it's hard to get a hold of, but with all the layers right here, it's so easy to manage. And of course, there is an undo button here too as well as a copy, so I can copy everything. So I could select an object and copy it, or select a chunk of the ship, I believe, and copy the chunk. I can flip it, and of course, symmetry mode is really important. So for example, if I want to add two of these, I turned symmetry mode on. If I want to add two of these equally placed on either side of the ship, of course I can do that. Really, really handy, super handy, and make those big. I can even rotate them so that they look cool. It looks like they look like big deflectors, like big armor deflectors, right? And then if I can, flip them back, and then I can copy it. So pick them up, and then I can flip them, and then put them on the other side, so it looks like it's all there to protect that core. Now I won't have the power and crew. Well, maybe. Well, let's give it a shot. There we go. Let's try that, and we'll move this back a little bit more and make sure that the core is kind of with the center of that. There we go. That looks cool. Oh, that looks really cool. Normally I do my builds in fast forward mode, so this is going to take a little bit longer, but I want you guys to see what this game is capable of. So we're going to turn symmetry mode off, and we're going to do like a big neck. Yeah, there we go. And of course, because we want that to sit on top, we can move that up, or move the head up like that. And we're going to move that part up. Oh, not too far. There we go. We just want it to be, oh, we're going to move this part down. Actually, we're going to move the neck down there. So it's nice. I'm not totally happy with that. There, it doesn't need to be so big. And then of course, engines, very, very important. Now this is where all your crew and power gets eaten up. So I'm not going to add too much for engines because I don't think we're going to need too much for this next mission. I just happen to know that. But we are actually going to add a wing piece too as well. So let's do, I don't know. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, there we go. And we can kind of rotate that. Oh yeah, there, that looks nice. And then we can add these engines on top, make it a little bit bigger, like so. Oh shoot, right. Let's turn symmetry mode on. There we go. Yes. And make those bigger, rotate, bring them in, like so. Make them nice and big, like that. And then we bring those down in the layer so it's underneath. Yeah, doesn't that look cool? And then you got the engines. Oh, right. Symmetry mode. Again, let's go back to our engines. Trying to keep this moving at a steady pace so that we have time to see the whole mission, because I'm trying to keep this video at a reasonable time. There. Oh, that looks cool. Ah, that looks really cool. I like it. I don't know. I think it looks pretty neat. Okay, there we go. I don't know if they're going to add a way to add colors and stuff to the ship. Wings, of course, wings. Everything here has a purpose. So, of course, this engine offers so much thrust. It gives us so much steering. So steering is how quickly it'll move left and right. Stability, I'm not too sure of. Reactivity, not too sure of. Of course, everything adds mass. That's the thing. Every single part here matters. Every single part means something. And the wings even mattered. So these wings that we added, they add steering and stability, which will make it easier to maneuver on the battlefield, which is awesome. Now, we need to add some weapons. We still have lots and lots of crew and power. The only one we need to be sure that we add is the tri-stage turret, because that's what we need for the next mission. So we can add these anywhere in the ship. I'm going to add 2 of them because I think that'll just look really cool. Yeah, nice and big too. Yeah, right. Oh, we don't have enough crew. Oh, man, that stinks. Okay, so, how much crew did these things? They only used 1. Well, we're short 4 crew. I knew these panels would be too much. Okay, so we're gonna delete those 2 panels. It's too bad. Yeah, it is a little bit of a resource management game too when you're limited. There. Oh no, it's still not enough. Oh man. Well, I guess that's gonna have to do. I think we'll move these in. We'll bring these down. Yeah, that's just the way it's got to be. I guess we can make them a bit bigger. There we go. Just got to make sure these are big enough to cover up the little thing on the end there. I know it's not what we had in mind, but you know, we only have so much crew, so that's the only weapon we can put on there. That's good enough. And you can also save the ship, of course. Confirm save ship design. Having trouble with English. There we go. And we can launch the next mission. So in this mission, we're going to learn how to manually control our weapons. Like I said, these first few missions are tutorials. I hope you like the editor. The editor is like, it's everything. It's just huge. And, you know, the combat, of course, is amazing. But these first few missions, I mean, there's only so much. But hey, doesn't that look neat? I love top-down shooters. 2 pirate fighters have been crippled by gamma pulse. Let's finish them off. Right, so right-click on the closest one, and that will automatically have my turrets target that closest one. And of course, my crew will fire the turrets as soon as we get close enough. There we go. Hee! I'm coming. Actually, that's a pretty cool looking ship. There we go. So the crew will automatically fire. There we go. Done deal. And of course, we can go get the other guy. Normally, I would be collecting all this stuff, but for the purpose of today and just demonstration, we're not going to do that. I still don't know what the little pieces of schmutz do for us, but I know they're important. There we go. Uh-oh. So there's something here. We've been caught in the gamma pulse. It's overloaded our engines, which means we can't move. And here comes bad guys. Of course, hit the shift key or the ship button at the top right. So if I click this, it's going to open up the panel of components in our ship, and we can manually control our components in our ship. Isn't that cool? So now I can use the click on this, and I can actually control the turrets manually by holding down the left mouse button. I can control the direction, and the right mouse button to fire the turrets. I can't actually move the ship, so right now I'm kind of a sitting duck, and that's why we have turrets on our ship. Now I'm a little concerned. The AI is a little obtrusive, or the UI, the little, all the circles and stuff. I can't see the ship all that well. I'm kind of hoping that they at least even give an option to kind of dim that out a little bit. But I don't know, it feels really good. Feels really good. Oh, he's gone. So I just have to kill these guys. They're pretty easy to kill. They don't have a lot of armor. Oh, here come some bigger guys. And these little pieces of schmutz that are lying around, you can use those parts to actually repair different components on your ship. So there's a damage control portion of this game too, which is really interesting. I'm assuming it would be super interesting when you get into like managing capital ships and stuff. I wonder if my crew would be better at aiming than me. I don't know. Fortunately, these guys don't require a lot of damage before they blow up. There we go. Good job on the turret. When you're in direct control, components will be much more effective. Oh, that's the other thing. They're more effective. So my guns were actually more powerful because I was manually controlling them. Armor will be stronger, so I can actually click on armor pieces on the ship, and as long as it's clicked on, it will actually be tougher while it's clicked on. If you pick up the scrap, that's these little pieces of schmutz dropped by destroyed ships. Direct control mode will allow you to repair the damaged components. So I can click on this, and look at that. It repairs those components. Isn't that awesome? Ah, very, very cool. You've got enough scrap to get started. So there's a little bit of FTL here too, although might be a bit of a click fest, but I don't know. Still seems like a cool idea. You've got enough scrap to get started. Hit the shift key, then select your engines and fix them up so that we can get moving again. There we go. Fixing our engines with the scrap. 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, there we go. Great work. Fix anything else that got wrecked, and let's get back into the fight. There we go. We are all fixed up. We can actually move again, which is great. Looks like all of that stuff got picked up. But here come some bad guys. So now, if we want to destroy them quickly, we can manually control our turrets, and because we do more damage, it works out pretty good. Yeah, the UI is a little obtrusive here, especially when you have turrets and stuff, and a little tiny ship. The UI is taking up like all of the screen, but still, it's pretty cool. I guess if you had a capital ship, I mean, it wouldn't be as bad. Uh-oh. I never said I was good at this. I just said I played it. And that I like it, and it's super fun. These guys, as long as because they have to directly target me, as long as I'm firing from the side and I just kind of circle them, I should be able to defeat them pretty easily. I think that got him. I got him. Haha! We got him, Captain. It's your old ship. And here's the other part of it. Remember the crew that stole, the prison crew that stole our old ship? Yeah, they're back. So we're just going to make some repairs here with some of the schmutz that we're picking up. I love it. And we're going to go back, control our guns, and this, of course, our old ship. Although he only has one gun, he has way more armor than these guys that we just fought, because he was the most powerful ship in the galaxy at the time. So it's going to take a lot more to destroy him, but he is limited by the fact that he doesn't have turrets on his ship. And I don't think he has as much armor. He might. I don't know. There's no way. Yeah, he only had power of 30. Yeah, he doesn't have nearly as much armor, but he's still, still tougher than the guys we were fighting. There is no indication of how much damage he's taken, but I'm assuming we could also shoot out his engines and stuff too, because, damage... see, there we just shot out something. I'm not sure, but yeah, there we go. There, we've killed the most powerful ship in the universe. We've killed it. Well, now we are the most powerful ship in the universe. Oh, no. We've won. We're taking the ship and ruling the planet. See you around, Captain. I love the premise. It's pretty cool. So, we've completed the mission, and yeah, There we are in space. We're getting picked up, and we can move on to the next mission without a ship, but we get to build a brand new ship. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed this preview. This is not a review. This is a preview. And yes, I was given a preview copy of the game to take a look at. That's all I've been given. I am not promoting the game in any other way for any other reason other than I think it's really, really cool, and I love top-down space shooters, and this one is specifically really, really fun to play. So anyway, guys, check them out in their Kickstarter. I will leave the links in the description below if you're looking for how to get there, and I think they need about 40,000 bucks in it. At the time of making this video, they were about 7,000, so check them out. It's worthwhile. I've already thrown, I think, $30 at them. Like I said, they're only looking for 40,000, and the game's already, it's 3/4 done. And it's going to be in Steam. I think they're already greenlit too as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I loved putting this one together. I put a lot of work into this because I believe in it that much. Okay, take care, guys.